Hello everybody, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that the video I recorded actually does have audio. The bad news is because for whatever reason the video and audio is out of sync. Now, I'm not all that expert and I don't exactly have the software to be able to fix this for you. So I'm going to have to super apologize for the video being out of sync. But unfortunately, the video has to be out of sync with the audio because I'm kind of out of options because I really do not want to recreate this video. And this definitely confirms that for the most part, I will never use minicam ever again because that's just some bull crap because it may have been my fault. Maybe I transitioned too weird. But the thing is, the camera was still recording, or no, the camera was still active. So I don't know why, when I made a transition using minicam, saying that my audio became out of sync with my webcam, because even if there was a transition, the webcam was still kind of recording this. I mean, it wasn't exactly recording per se, but it was actually still doing this. So my audio and my webcam should have still been working in unison, that even if I transitioned weird, that it shouldn't have caused a hiccup with the audio being out of video. But whatever, that's the only explanation for why my audio became out of sync, is because the transition between the pictures within the episode as well. So I don't want to make another video, and I don't exactly have the software equipment to edit this so the audio and video is synced properly. So I apologize greatly that you're going to see me having the audio and the video out of sync, but I promise for the most part it won't happen again. I guarantee you that it will not happen again, because I'm not going to use minicam ever again, because as I found out, it uses up a lot of space. My 30-minute video was like 1.23 gigabytes, and I do not have much space left, which is another thing that I need to address real quickly. I don't have a lot of space. I don't know when I'll be able to get more space, so it probably won't concern you because I have a lot of videos to upload, but don't really expect a lot of new videos soon. Like this particular instance is happening between my videos, as I address later in my video. So again, I apologize greatly for the audio being out of sync and everything like that, and until I can figure out how to loosen up some of my space, since I only have about 13 gigabytes left and these videos are pretty long. So basically I apologize for the audio video out of sync, but I upload it as it is because I'm not smart enough to edit properly, because I don't have the proper software and I don't have the time to edit because it's a little too late, or I just don't upload a video at all. But I want to at least upload a video for the opening and the 55, so you can at least get a handle of if it makes you feel any better when the audio and video comes out of sync. Just scroll down and just listen to my voice. So again, I super apologize. I don't know if it fixes itself since I didn't watch it and I really got to upload this video. So again, I apologize. So the beginning seems to be fun. It's just that it happens around the transition. So I don't know if the last transition of that one particular moment fixes everything. But again, I apologize, but that's just how it is. So get ready for my broken video, basically. So I'll see you in a moment. I'll see you in a moment. Hello, everybody. I'm Dustin Benzel, and welcome to a special Pokemon XY discussion. This is special because this is for the opening and a mini review of XY055. Now, I already kind of created another video of this, but apparently I didn't have a microphone recording, so there was no sound whatsoever. So I have to redo this, and it was pretty good. So it's probably not going to be as long as the other one, because the other one I kind of summarized the whole entire XY55 episode. So I'm just gonna just tell you about some of the things that happened during that episode and stuff. So let's jump into the opening real quick. But first, you'll notice that something new will happen, and this is because I have a web camera software called Minicam, and I've got the free version going on right now. And the free version has allows you to switch between different sources. So at the very least, this I don't know how many things I'm gonna do with this because I can't edit this really in Windows Movie Maker unless it's like an AVI file, and I don't know if I'm recording in AVI or MP4. So hopefully I don't make any horrible mistakes. So first we'll discuss the opening, and then we'll move into the episode of Gumi's capture. Just to let you know about the software that I'm using, because it's free, I can't switch between a lot of sources. So it's not like I can switch between 5 different pictures that I have to show and then transition easily. So this is nice because then I could record. I'm recording this with video or image overlays, and that's really nice. So let's just jump into it. So let's discuss the opening. I'm not gonna say that the song was horrible, but it was okay. I think it's a little bit better than Volt, the previous XY opening, because in Volt it said the Pokemon's types, and that would be fine for a couple of times, but since that seems to be a major theme in the theme song, I guess because of the fairy typing being released in 6th generation, it kind of got a little disappointing. Oh, hopefully no one disturbs me because I can't exactly stop a recording and then continue on forward. At least I haven't figured any way for that to happen, so we'll just move on with this. Okay, so the opening, I'd have to say, was disappointing, but I think there was a reason why it was disappointing. Well, there is one really nice spoiler that it showed, and I'm going to show you images as best as I can. So let's get into the image overlay recording that I was talking about. Now, this is just a picture of Gumi right here. It's not the one from the opening. It's from the episode itself. I can't find the proper Gumi image that was in the opening to transition this better. So, yeah, that's Gumi. And then hold on a minute here. Like I said, it's gonna like be a while. Uh, and then all of a sudden we get some sort of cool evolution glow, and then we get this. Wow, I know you didn't see my expression right there because of this image of Sligoo, but it doesn't end there. What happens is that it even goes even further, and we get this. Wow. um and I think that's just really cool because this confirms that Gumi is fully evolving quickly into Gudra. So yeah, you saw those images. Not really much. I don't have a lot of images from the opening to show you. And I'm sorry, but I don't exactly have this properly done and stuff of that nature. So basically, it'll just be my face. I know you want to see less of my face and more of images and of that nature. I was kind of hoping to get like a GIF so that you could see the transition between Gumi and Gudra, but I don't think there's a GIF out, or there wasn't a GIF on Thursday when I actually watched everything. So, like I said, that's the only cool thing about the opening, is that it shows Gumi's transition into Gudra, which is really nice. Um, let's see. Let me think about this. One thing that in the opening, what we don't see is we don't see Serena's new design. We don't see Breaksin. We do not see Luxray. And of those spoilers, we just see Gumi evolving into Gudra, which is really cool because I mean, putting an evolution in the opening is pretty badass, if you ask me. I think that's really awesome that they actually put a full evolution into the actual opening. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so nothing else to talk about. The reason why I don't think they put all the spoilers in the opening is because there's something happening February, and that's around the time that Serena will have her debut, and I think it's something to do with the opening, I think, or something of that nature, and they want to use this particular animation first. Now, I don't know what that means for Luxio evolving into Luxray, which we know is going to happen, but especially since it's going to happen before the next movie, since I believe Luxray was on that Pikachu short. So I think it's because there's something happening in February. I think it's like some sort of CD release or audio CD or something of that nature. I don't know what it is, but I've heard that there's something coming out February, and that's probably the reason why they're not showing Serena's new design or Fennekin evolving into Braixen. And that when those things happen, they'll probably change the opening. So also, we see some interesting things well, they're interesting, but they kind of concern me. And and it's not so bad because I expected one of them, but one of them is actually surprised. What they show is what they did in the opening is they showed the upcoming gym leaders. They showed Ramos and Go. They show Valerie and Spritzy, which I'll get into in just a moment. But the surprising thing is that they showed Olympia with two Meowstic, and this concerns me for a few reasons. But let's talk about Valerie first before we talk about Olympia. Now, it's pretty nice that Valerie has a Spritzy because one of the things that I was a little concerned about Valerie's team is that she only had a Sylveon, and I don't know what that means for Valerie because Valerie would it would imply that Valerie may not have a Sylveon in the anime, which is kind of weird because that was pretty much Valerie's only important Pokemon. And unless you're going to say that Serena or Clement or maybe even Ash gets a Sylveon, there'd be no point in trading off Valerie's signature Pokemon for Spritzy. So I'm hoping that the Spritzy implies that it's going to be at least a 4-on-4 of something of that nature, which would be really nice. So what I'm expecting with Valerie, when Valerie comes around, I'm hoping she still has Sylveon. She has Spritzy. Maybe even have Mr. Mime and even Mawile. And if Mr. Mime has to be replaced of the four, because that's the only one that I'd be okay with being traded in. Maybe Slurpuff can get into that, or not Slurpuff. Well, maybe. Maybe I was thinking more like Swirlix, the pre-evolution, but Slurpuff would be a nice substitution for Mr. Mime. So, but if Spritzy is a thing, then I'm hoping Spritzy does evolve. Because like I said, it was rather disappointing that Valerie only had one six. I just have to call out Game Freak on this. They really did a horrible type distribution in 6th gen, especially since there's only one bug type. And that wouldn't necessarily be a problem since Viola was the first gym leader, but when you get into later gyms, you actually realize that the limited amount of Pokemon is actually a hindrance to the actual game. Because Corinna only had Halucha in the games, and she didn't even have any sort of 6th gen Pokemon in the anime, not counting Mega Lucario, which I'm not really sure can be classified as a new Pokemon. Maybe a 6th gen form change of stronger form change, but temporary evolution. I don't know. I guess Mega Evolution or Mega Lucario makes sense for Corinna, but she really could have traded Machoke for like Pangoro or something like that, so she could have at least had 6 gen. So yeah, Game Freak really screwed the pooch on that one in that their type distribution was horrible. And the fact that they introduce fairy types and they only have one physical fairy type move, and that's basically play rough. I don't know if there's any other physical fairy type moves, but it's pretty much it. So it's a little disappointing. Now, so there's that. So Yeah, I I mean, I'm glad Valerie at least has a 6th gen fairy type. I'm just saying that not using Sylveon just doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like to me it doesn't make any logical sense because technically the anime executive producers and the writers in combination with each other, as long as the executive producers approve, they don't have to follow the games at all. So unless Valerie has a Spritzy in the next set of games that will probably come out, and they were forewarned before Ash even before before the games are even announced, the next set of games, it just doesn't make any sense to me that for some instances the anime writers and executive producers are throwing caution to the wind or whatever for certain things, and yet when it actually makes sense to replace a certain Pokemon for a 6th gen Pokemon, it's kind of like Grant. Grant had Onyx and Tyron, and that made no sense because in the games he had both fossil Pokemon. Now, maybe within the anime it does make sense because fossil Pokemon are supposed to be rare and of that sort. But the thing is, they could have at least given, I don't know, they could have at least given Grant a third Pokemon and Binacle, so then Onyx, Binacle, and even Tyrant probably would have been fine, but they just replaced Amara with a Onyx basically, and it's kind of weird. And then Karina pretty much has the same exact identical team within the game. The only difference is that Halucha was traded for her Mega Lucario. So I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Now, I don't want to discuss this too long, so we'll get into Olympia now. Now, the thing that concerns about me with Olympia is that Olympia seems like she's going to be really close coming out. I'm still discussing this in the forums of whether or not Valerie should happen before the next movie, even though it makes no sense because we only have like 24 Thursdays at max, and throwing 3 gyms within 24 episodes just makes no logical sense whatsoever. I mean, within at least 10 episodes of each other, you're at least going to get like 30 episodes, and so it would still have to be after the movie. Now, anyway, now the thing that concerns me with Olympia is not just because it might be too soon, since she is the 7th gym leader, because I'm not really sure what the future of XY would be if she's going to be here soon. The thing that concerns me the most is the fact that she has 2 Meowstic. And this concerns me greatly because, um, it might be a double battle, and the thing that concerns me is that it's only going to be the 2 Meowstic. See, this is what concerns me. The anime executive producers could have easily given these Pokemon to whatever, but with Olympia, they actually give her 2 Meowstic, potentially a double battle, and yet Valerie doesn't have a Sylveon, Grant doesn't have an Amara, or at least Valerie, as far as we know, doesn't have a Sylveon. Grant didn't have an Amara or didn't use Amara, and Karina had no reasonable 6th gen fighting type Pokemon when Pangoro or Pancham could have easily made sense. That concerns me greatly that the writers just don't care about the gym leaders team roster anymore, and that would be fine. Like I wouldn't mind Karina or whatever having like Scrafty or whatever if we were gonna be random, but 2 Meowstic, that's a little excessive. You won't even show Valerie with a Sylveon. Instead, you show her with a Spritzy, and then you show Olympia with 2 Meowstic. What's up with that? I mean, they're opposite genders, obviously. One is male and one is female, and we all know that the female is the better battler, which is what I believe Olympia has within the actual games, is the female variety. But what the hell is going on with the 2 Meowstic and the possibility of a double battle? That concerns me because if this is going to be like Tate and Liza, then Ash is probably just going to use Pikachu and Fletchinder. And the thing is, I would have preferred Greninja or even Gudra to happen since it would make sense for them to actually show up in that battle. So maybe it's a 4-on-4 double battle. Maybe it's you have like 2 substitutions after your first 2 choices. You know, maybe it's that type of double battle like Tate and Liza within the games. If you knocked out one of their Pokemon, they would just send out another Pokemon, and they would eat, and their teams would be combined or something of that nature. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, that really concerns me. Um. Anyway, the last thing I want to talk about the opening before I discuss the episode itself, the 55th episode, is there's a weird character that is following Ash's footprints within the actual opening. In the opening, we see Ash and he's leaving these glowy footprints, and then we see a character that we've never seen before stepping in those footprints and having a notebook, and he has a Trico. You know, a lot of people are like, well, maybe that's the new protagonist for the next generation. But here's the thing. Unless the opening is lying and he actually has a Pikachu and it's his starter, this boy is not going to replace Ash, because in order to have a new protagonist, we need one with Pikachu, because there is no way that Pikachu is ever going to be relegated to not ever showing up in every episode. Trust me on that. They wouldn't do that. Unless, of course, IQ Tawny. But then again, if this is a new Pikachu, then someone else could just take over Pikachu. So that's kind of the issue here. Um, you know, so I don't see it. At best, I see some sort of rival of some sort, or some sort of fan of Ash, or of something of that nature, like a protege mentor type relationship. I mean, the boy has to at least be 10 years old. And I know Ash is like maybe a little bit older, but he's like still, what, 10 technically? I don't know how old Ash is at this point. The writers just don't give a crap about that. The executive producers don't care about the age. So he has to at least be 10 if he's a trainer. You know, because otherwise, why would he have a Trico? So the Trico does concern me, because it means that Ash likely will not get Mega Sceptile, which is kind of disappointing, because I would have loved to see Sceptile Mega evolve and kick butt in like the league or whatever. But you know, whatever. Anyway, let's get on to the episode. We're done with the opening. I think I've discussed every interesting thing about the opening. Um, so if you feel like I missed something, just go check out the opening yourself and go check it out. Um, So let's get into the actual episode. Now, this episode was really nice, and it's one of my favorite episodes, and it's Gumi's capture. And if the opening didn't already reveal it, there's an image coming up that'll show you exactly who caught Gumi. I'm still avoiding saying who caught Gumi, even though it was pretty obvious, and if you saw the opening, you would already know. And if you've checked your sources, you would have already known who caught Gumi. But I want to keep it as I know it's not really a surprise, but I want to keep it a surprise until I show you the image that happened at the very end of the episode, because it's a really nice image that I found. So anyway, so the episode starts with basically, well, I don't want to get into a summary, but Gumi falls on Ash. Ash hydrates Gumi. Gumi is afraid of Dedenne. Then Gumi runs away to a tree, eats an apple. Aridos comes. Gumi wets itself from fear. Clement has an invention that shows Gumi's past memories involving Aridos, Swana, Ariados. Let's see, what else was there? I think there was a Pinsir as well, and there was a Yan Mega, and of that nature. And one of the things we see as Swan is going away is we see some sort of village, a Pokemon village. Oh, maybe it's the Wolfric Pokemon village. Maybe. But we see like some sort of Pokemon village for Pokemon or something like that. Kind of looks like a town, and it's actually burning. So hopefully we'll get some interesting information on that later. So then Team Rocket captures Pikachu. We get a funny moment of a semi not very funny funny moment of Team Rocket doing weird faces and Pikachu's trying to escape with Gumi. Gumi slams Pikachu so it could go through the hole that Pikachu made, bashing in. But Team Rocket comes, checks on them. They're like, "Oh no, nothing. Everything's fine here." So then they're walking away. Gumi and Pikachu escape. Pikachu and Gumi escape. Team Rocket are talking, and they're like, "Whoa, we've been bamboozled!" And then, and of that nature, Gumi and Pikachu run away. Ash blocks a Shadow Ball from Pumpkaboo. Then it's Fletchinder and Pikachu versus Team Rocket. They get confused. They attack each other for once, and then Ash gets them both. Tries to stop them, but Gumi blocks the attack. Yeah, it's really obvious who. No, never mind. Then Gumi blocks the attacks from Pumpkaboo and Inkay of, I think it's like Psybeam. No, it's Psybeam. Psywave is kind of like Seismic Toss, isn't it? Psybeam and Dark Pulse. Four of those attacks hit Gumi. Gumi absorbs them just fine. Gumi launches it, and then we say goodbye to Inkay and Pumpkaboo as they are disintegrated, albeit temporarily. And then Pikachu, Fletchinder recover. Pikachu uses Thunderbolt, go bye-bye. Then we but I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Team Rocket goes bye-bye with Pikachu's Thunderbolt. Then there's a discussion with Gumi. Gumi's still afraid. Somebody captures Gumi. I wonder who. And then that said trainer sends Gumi out, lifts it in the air, and then the episode ends. And what is it? Even though it was already obvious. Oh, look at that. I like that. Yeah. Yep. Ash caught Gumi. Yeah, that is definitely the case. So yeah. Gumi definitely is caught now by Ash. So that means Ash is definitely getting the Gudra. Ash is definitely getting the Gudra. Yeah, he's getting the juice. I mean the Gudra. and so some of the things that I kind of overglossed is that one of the funny moments, and I'll discuss the attacks in a moment, is one of the funny moments is that when Dedenne tried to introduce itself, Gumi hid behind Ash's neck or something like that, and it was like shivering and shaking, and they were a little concerned maybe it was a fairy type, and then Gumi jumps down and then whacks Bonnie's leg with its four antennae that's got on its head. um and the thing that's funny is that it wasn't actually doing anything to Bonnie. Bonnie was just actually laughing and giggling, and then we see Gumi kind of deflated and disappointed. Another thing is that what's really cute and adorable about Gumi, because Gumi is definitely adorable, is that it sucks on people's ears, which would be really interesting to experience. Just because it's one of those things that animals can do when they're being very affectionate. I've had I've had a cat suck on my ear, and it was very ticklish and of that nature. So I could definitely see how sucking on one's ear can be affectionate in regards to Pokemon themselves and of that stuff. The thing is, when Gumi was suckling on Serena's ear, I think Serena made a bad comment, and then all of a sudden there was like this cloud that appeared over Serena, and she's like, ah, and it was Gumi. Gumi actually used Rain Dance, um, and then Serena, I guess, tries to apologize or whatever, and then the Rain Dance just disappears, and then Gumi also uses Rain Dance later in the episode to slow down James that was chasing it, because somehow James can actually catch up to a Pikachu and Gumi that were quite a bit of ways from each other, galloping as fast as Pikachu can with Gumi on top of it. James was apparently faster than that. Almost caught up until Gumi used Rain Dance, and then James had to slow down, and then the attack that Gumi sorry. The attack that Gumi used to attack Pumpkin and Inkay, if it wasn't already clear by my description of what was going on, was Bide. Now, hopefully these moves will be replaced in the future. I've discussed this in my other video that I made of this that I can't really upload because it's just no audio. I hope this has audio. I'm gonna be flipping annoyed. I'm just gonna have to make a thing saying, I tried 2 videos to make this, but it didn't work out. I apologize. So anyway, what happened is, sorry. So I hope those moves get replaced. The thing about status moves that aren't attacks within the anime is that in some cases they just don't make any sense. If they don't make any sense, there's no reason to keep it. Gudra having Rain Dance when it's a Gudra is going to be detrimental to Gudra's move set because Gudra can learn a lot of decent moves out there, and if one of them is replaced with Rain Dance, it's going to be pretty stupid. Even if it does enhance one of the moves that I would like Gudra to actually have, I still think it's going to be rather disappointing because Gudra can learn a lot of attacks, and having that wasted on a status move just doesn't work. There are some status moves that actually do make sense, like String Shot, Smoke Screen, because those actually have in battle attributes that can be used in an anime in a way that can't be used in the games, and I kind of like those status moves. But when it's just a random status move like weather making thing, or I don't know, something else, it really kind of just doesn't work for me. So I'm kind of hoping that Gudra does replace both Bide and Rain Dance. Bide seems like just something Gumi has for the moment, temporary. But I also hope that Rain Dance is also temporary and that it's only associated to Gumi, maybe even Sliggoo, although judging by the opening, Sliggoo probably isn't going to last that long. At least in comparison to, like, say, Gumi, since at least Gumi is definitely going to be in, like, what, 7, 8 episodes that we have, like, confirmed so far. Of the remaining episodes that we know up to Serena's debut as a showcaser, Gumi is going to be a Gumi, because I'm pretty sure they would have kind of had an episode with Sliggoo, but I don't know. What do I know? Maybe Gumi doesn't last that long. I don't know. Maybe Sliggoo lasts longer. Would be kind of interesting, but we'll see. Gumi is I since the opening revealed Gudra, I'm almost guaranteeing that Gudra is going to happen before Clement. So that's kind of a good thing as well as a bad thing, depending on how you want to look at it. Gudra will actually be very beneficial to Ash during that gym battle, hopefully, and it'll probably be its best gym of that nature. And so yeah, let's see, what else can I talk about. Why yawning? I didn't exactly have good sleep, and I'm doing this in the morning, so I'm a little yawny. It's not as cold as it was the previous weeks that I sat in the Lincoln and made videos, but it's not exactly warm and toasty. And it's so fogged and clouded in the sky, you can't even see the sun. Sorry, that's irrelevant. Sorry about that. So yeah, I really can't think of anything else to say. Um, I would definitely say that the Gumi episode was definitely one of those 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Definitely, if I were to give that a rating. I don't really like ratings themselves, or like something out of 10 or something out of 5, or 1 or 2 thumbs out of 2 thumbs, or whatever. But I definitely classified the Gumi episode as an 8.5 and 9 out of 10, and I do have to say that it's relatively the best episode that came out. I mean, I don't know, even though it wasn't really the best, I don't know, the fact that Ash's Froakie evolved into Frogadier I don't know. That might be able to compare simply just because it was Froakie evolving into Frogadier, and it was the first time since Krabby evolving into Kingler hundreds of episodes ago, almost 1,000 episodes ago, even though there haven't been 1,000 episodes, but close to it, 1,000 episodes ago, that we saw Krabby evolving into Kingler, and then all of a sudden Ash's water Pokemon did not evolve up until Froakie. So, but still, the whole entire episode was Goomy. The only thing that I have to say that was bad about the Goomy episode, a negative point, which is why it wasn't exactly perfect, is that it didn't quite revolve around Ash's relationship with Goomy, which was rather disappointing, especially since we're gonna get a few episodes where Bonnie is just gonna, I don't know, uh, squeeze the crap out of Goomy out of affection. So that was a little disappointing. It was more about Pikachu and Goomy, which wasn't bad, and it's really nice that that Ash's Pokemon that he captures could have good relationships with at least one of his other Pokemon, if not Pikachu, since Pikachu is kind of like the leader. No. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. So, sorry, I'm a little distracted by a cat that. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. Oh, gosh, dang it. Okay. Um, so yeah, it was a little disappointing that Gumi and Ash didn't exactly get to really bond very much. I mean, it was, I guess, pretty typical for some of Ash's bonding captures that he has before, but in like comparison to like Sawaddle, Ash bonded with Sawaddle throughout that entire episode pretty well. And I guess that's because Team Rocket weren't actually there in that episode. That's the thing. I like it when the writers and the executive producers of the anime do not have to rely on Team Rocket and that they can take breaks within the episodes. Now, for whatever stupid reason, Team Rocket has to be in every episode, whether they need to be in there or not. But whatever. Whatever. I just feel like Ash didn't exactly bond with Gumi as much as I would have liked to. I mean, judging by this picture, Gumi definitely likes Ash, and then there was a moment where Gumi was suckling on Ash's ear, but whatever. So I guess this pretty much is it for this particular episode. My other episode had a few more minutes on it, but I had to check the audio, and the audio wasn't there. Hoping the audio is here, or else I'm just gonna have to give up. So if you're seeing this, then the audio, yay! This is so there's that. All right, so I don't know when my next XY episode is gonna be. Probably maybe around Ramos or after Ramos. Actually, probably the weekend after Ramos happens. Just to or until we can figure out what Ash is using against Ramos. I'll just make a quick, like, 5-minute video saying, that's what Ash is using. He's using Pikachu. Oh, no, he's using Fletchinder. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, so this pretty much covers the opening and the XY55th episode review. Like I said, I'm not going to review every episode, but I'll probably do mini reviews of the more important episodes, maybe the gym battles, captures, evolutions, primarily just about Ash though. For anything else in other episodes, I'll just discuss them in more detailed episodes about XY. So, sorry this took place within the fourth gen reflections episodes, but I really wanted to get this out. So yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm Dustin Benzel, as I've already said. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.